production of KMmedia.pro. Welcome back to Positive Talk Radio. Our goal is simple: to explore evolving ideas one conversation at a time. So come on over into our world. I know you'll like it, because on today's show... Oh, I gotta tell you how the year has gone by. It is now one day away from being the last day of September, which makes us into October. And so first of all, we've got a great couple of guests for you today, and we've got some events that we need to highlight that are coming up this fall. But before we go there, Nathan, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Kevin, and we are in the burr months. I am certainly feeling the burr out there. You might have noticed I'm wearing a sweatshirt now. If you watched the video, first time this year after summer, starting to put on sweatshirts regularly to keep warm out there.
Me too. Well, the first thing is our Mariners have got to win 3 in a row, or it's going to be
yeah. My heart is believing, but my brain is saying it's done. It's a weird thing going on right now, but I mean, getting past those Rangers, it's going to be really tough, and I don't see the Astros or the Blue Jays getting swept in anything coming up, and I want to believe. I mean, that's all I can do right now, it seems like.
Yes, indeed. Well, sometimes you just got to try and want to believe, but playing for them in October happens so rarely that they're going to play like 1 or 2 days in October. I guess that counts. But
yeah, technically.
Yes,
well, I think they only got 2 games, so they only got 1 game in October, and that's on Sunday, and that's it.
Yes,
it's only a 3-game series against these. Actually, is it a 3-game or a 4-game? Let me check
it's
that.
a 4-game.
Okay, yeah, then we'll play on Sunday.
Yeah, so they have to win 3 in a row and then pray.
Mm-hmm.
That everything falls their way. But that's okay. That's what happens. It's fall. That means that it's Seahawk time and it's Husky time, and they're both doing well. So we'll go with that. And by the way, you know what's coming up at the end of the month in October?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what is it?
We have Halloween.
and then the day after Halloween, we have Christmas decorations going up all over the place. I hate going.
I actually see those already happen already.
Oh, you're kidding. Really?
The minute those burr months start, I tell you.
I tell you what, it's pretty amazing. And one of the things about Halloween is there are some really cool places around here that you can go. If you want to go to a pumpkin patch, or if you want to go scare the heck out of yourself, you can go do that. And one of the really cool places that I just found out about is called Franklin Farms. Have you ever heard of them?
I'm about to.
Yeah. Whether you want to or not, I'm afraid you're right. But they've got something called Terror in the Trees. Let me tell you the story of the man by the name of Dave Wells and his son. They bought this 60-acre farm, and it used to be a tree farm, and they were just wandering around, and they started to hear this rustling in the woods, and it turns out that the woods are haunted. And so every year, come Halloween, they put up the haunted house that goes through the trees. It's kind of a tree maze kind of thing, and it's outside, and it really is a lot of fun. And I just made all of that up, except for the fact that they do have a pumpkin patch, and they do have a haunted tree area. And we're going to talk to Dave Wells and his assistant Lindsay in just a second. So have you ever gone to a haunted house?
A few times.
Do they
mainly just people that do neighborhood type things? They set up a bunch of decorations and things where people will pop out and scare you and surprise you. So those kinds of haunted houses. I haven't been to a real one, though.
Then this is a real big one, and it's in the woods, and they're going to have it all set up. I really like what Mr. Wells is doing with this property, because they're going to try and make it kind of like St. Michelle North. They're going to have a beer garden, and they've got um, some stuff there, and I just got the message that you don't tell me it's gonna happen again. No, I hope they're
well,
back.
they should be back soon. I think a ghost just kind of took them away, but I'm sure it's a friendly ghost. It's Casper. It'll bring him back.
Exactly. So in any event, it's Franklin Farms, and they're in Snohomish, and so they're locally owned and operated, and they've got a whole bunch of plans for the future of that particular property. And we're going to have Dave Wells, and I hope he's listening on the radio. If he's not, if there's a problem, that I hope that they come back really soon.
And it's not just Halloween that they're known for. I guess they do in 4th of July. They put out a fireworks display, which based on these pictures here is really spectacular. And let's see, there's like a coffee they offer as well, and concerts, and really a place you can go to year round for just a fun event.
Yes, and they have one of the coolest things. Have you excuse me, have you ever been to a professional wrestling show?
No, I've seen a lot of them on TV though, and pay-per-view.
Have you ever seen a midget professional wrestling show?
That sounds interesting.
Well, what it is it's like WWE, and they come in and they set up the ring and all of that kind of stuff. And it is run by and stars little people.
Oh.
And all these little people are just so talented at what they do. And then they wrestle, and then some of them win, some of them lose, and it's a high flying act and stuff like that. Well, that's going to be there this summer as well. So I'm really hopeful that they're going to come back here any moment now. I'll tell you what. Why don't we do this? Why don't we run our set of commercials now, and then perhaps they will show up while we're there. We're waiting for our guests to come back from Franklin Farms out in Snohomish, and we will come right back after these messages. You're listening to Positive Talk Radio, and hopefully you'll be listening to Franklin Farms ownership here in just a moment. But we'll be right back after these messages.
Do you need to boost your sales? Join our partnership program. Each quarter, we promote 10 partner businesses. What will you get? The company will produce one 30-second video for your business. Your website links on positivetalkradio.net and kmmedia.pro. One dedicated podcast or radio show per month. One video Instagram reel, one YouTube short, one 60-second clip for social media taken from your interview, and at least one commercial airplay per show. All podcast and video commercials are within the fabric of the show and will remain in the show forever. Visit kmmedia.pro to book a consultation today.
When you want to say more than words communicate, you can with flowers. Your custom boutique floral studio in Bothell, Washington is anaturaldesign.com, connecting you to nature through the language of flowers. Where your people are is where our flowers are beautiful. Your success is our goal.
For being our appreciated listener, you can use promo code PTR20 at checkout to receive 20% off your order.
anaturaldesign.com at your fingertips today.
We believe in the power of telling your stories. We want to help yours be seen and heard. At the Pacific Northwest Collaborative Magazine, our purpose is to connect you to your community. Let's begin by celebrating the accomplishments of local artists featured in this brand new digital magazine. Here, you can learn about opportunities to creatively come together and support our local community and neighbors through the gift of art and service. If your business or organization organization would like to take part in this magazine, message us on Instagram at pnw.collab. You can download our free digital magazine at KM Media Pro today.
Thank you to our dedicated fans. We are updating our live on-air schedule to make it super easy for you to hang out with us 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, and live on Fridays with Kixie 8:80 a.m. Seattle Live. You can find our library to binge all the podcast platforms. We can't wait to see you at 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, starting September 4th, Labor Day 2023.
And welcome back to Positive Talk Radio. My name is Kevin McDonald, and sometimes when you're out in Snohomish, even though it's not that far, it does necessitate having a real good internet connection. And unfortunately, Nathan, we seem to be lacking that today.
We do, but thankfully we still have the technology of the phone line, which we have been successfully able to get the guests on today.
Thank you to, what's his name, Bell or somebody that made the phones happen long ago. So we're good. So
yeah, we got like this little tin can with the string going all the way up to Franklin Farms.
Make sure you keep the string tight and taut.
Yes.
and so it'll work. So why don't we introduce our guest before we lose him again? And Dave, how are you? Dave Wells.
I'm doing wonderful. How are you guys today?
We're doing just awesome. I was thinking that you were giving me a editorial opinion about talking about the haunted house or haunted forest and hung up on me, but I'm glad you didn't.
No, it's a computer glitch apparently, so apologize for that.
That happens. That's what happens when you've got modern technology. Sometimes it doesn't work as well as you'd like. But that's life. And so, Dave, how are you?
I'm doing great. We're out here getting everything all set up and burning the midnight oil to make sure that everybody has a good time this holiday season. So that's looking fantastic. We're excited.
Well, you're going to have a fall festival like no other. To explain to our audience what you're going to be doing there pretty much in total for the entire month.
Well, we're going to have a bunch of activities for families during the daytime over the course of the weekend. So we'll have games and a non-scare maze for the children to walk through, and so that nobody gets too spooked. And we'll have a beer garden out here. We've got pumpkin patch to sell pumpkins and gourds and stuff like that. We'll have some food trucks out here as well. And then the evening stuff, we'll have a haunted maze that's built out through a bunch of Christmas trees that didn't get sold years ago from the previous owner that we've gone in and cleaned them all up and built a maze through there. So we've got a bunch of scares and props and everything else. So it should be good and spooky is our whole goal, rather than have something that you don't get a little fright out of. We want to make sure that this is a good experience so people get the chills down their spine at points in time throughout the haunt. So
it's already scary during the day.
And that's Lindsay, by the way. And so it's scary during the day already?
Yes, I turn around a corner and I spook myself with the different props that we have out there. And what's even more funny is I'm the one that put some of those out there, and so I know that they're there. And I've been a little jumpy this past month getting ready.
Well, that's cool. Now, Dave, tell us a little bit about the history of Franklin Farms and how it came into your hands.
So, a buddy of mine was in the legal 502 cannabis industry, and this property happened to be a farm for that purpose. But it was initially a tree farm for ornamental trees that hadn't been sold because the owner that we bought it from didn't want anyone seeing into the property. So everything just got out of control, and that's what led to the making lemonade out of lemons aspect for this maze. Is the Christmas tree should have been sold when they were 8 feet tall. Well, now they're 20 feet tall. And so Blake, my son, who's my business partner, him and I have gone in along with help from some of his friends and some family, and basically gone in and parked it out. So we've got about 15 acres that are completely cleaned up and parked out, if you will, to be able to host a series of events out here. We've had the 4th of July festival. We have some music and food trucks and stuff. But essentially, we're just trying to build a beautiful venue here in the valley that everyone can enjoy and come out and share good times with their family and friends.
You know, I learned something because I've never lived in Snohomish, and so I kind of equate that with being like a million miles away, but it's not. It's like 15 or 20 minutes from Kirkland. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. It's darn near freeway speeds are all the way to the farms from downtown or on the east side, because 405, 522, and then just straight shot down Highway 9, and we're about a half a mile to the west off of Highway 9, right in the center of the valley. So it's panoramic views of the Cascade Mountains, and in the summertime and spring, they've got the hot air balloons, so people can enjoy that activity if they'd like, but also get to see the skydiving that takes place, which is fun. You can hear all the people hooting and hollering as they're coming down. So, yeah, it's a great hub of activity around here. But the hot air balloon, everyone seems to really enjoy those too. So we've talked with the gentleman that owns that and want to start working hand in hand. Our whole goal is to promote business with everyone else here in the valley and just be a good partner for everyone. So it's a great spot.
Now the skydiving place that's right down the street from you. Are you sure that that's hooting and hollering, or is that screaming for their lives?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
We like to think they're having fun.
Oh, sure. Falling from the sky and hoping that your parachute opens. That sounds like a really good time to me.
I don't know why anybody would want to do that, but some people like that sort of thing.
Well, and I've also got, if you're not into jumping out of an airplane, but you are into maybe hitting a golf ball or two, isn't there a driving range right next to you?
Yeah, there is. It's a fantastic spot too. They got a nice food court, and they've just updated their driving range so it tracks your ball. But yeah, it's a very nice facility that they've built over there. So it's Snohomish Valley Golf Center. But yeah, it's a great spot for people to get out and enjoy. And that's kind of our whole goal, is to have activities out here that people can come visit us, go over, hit a bucket of balls, or vice versa, and just basically be a new spot for everyone out here in this area to come and enjoy. So, like I say, our whole deal is to promote all the local other farms around here and just work together.
Well, dads, if you're listening to this, or moms who want to get dad out there, because you've got the kids that want to do the pumpkin patch, a good idea might be to tell him that there's a golf range right there, and that he can hit a bucket of balls while they're looking at pumpkins, and it can be kind of a family affair just throughout the valley.
Exactly. That's the whole goal. Somebody told me a long time ago that if you're going to look for a car, you'll notice that most car dealerships aren't spread out across the country. They put them all together so that it fits everybody's needs and wants. And that's kind of the whole deal we have going on here. We've got the other farms and the driving range and just one central location for everyone to come and enjoy themselves. So we're happy to be a part of that.
Well, and I think that you guys putting together a place that is going to have lots of events throughout the year is really cool. And and Nathan, who is 6'6", I do believe, doesn't qualify as a little person, but you do have every year the little people come and wrestle. They call it midget wrestling, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We have it booked for the 22nd of June to celebrate the solstice, which is typically June 21st. So yeah, we did it last year at the end of April, and it was such a great success that we had over 1,000 people out here, and everybody just loved it. So it's a unique activity, but a heck of a lot of fun. So I think that this group that we've got coming out this time, there's even some women in this particular group of wrestlers or athletes that will put on even a better show. So yeah, we're really excited to be tied in with them and get them out here to put on a good show for everyone. And this year the weather will be good in the summertime, so it'll be a fun get together for everyone.
Now I know that by your career, you are a tugboat captain, correct?
Yes, my dad was a tugboat captain, and I started working on boats as a little boy, and became a captain at 22, which in this day and age is probably never going to happen again. But I worked in the marine construction industry from the tugboat aspect on big construction sites and stuff. And then in '96, I started my own business, which was called Lakeshore Marine Construction. So we did pile driving around Puget Sound, but primarily focused on marine construction on Lake Washington, and I had a little crane barge and tug over on Lake Sammamish. So we did a lot of residential stuff, and anything and everything that needed to come in by water, I was able to do because I had barges with ramps on it, so we could bring heavy equipment in, and we'd do house demolition and material deliveries. But yeah, we serviced all the big contractors around the area. So yeah, it was a good job, but a career. But we've got into this, and this is a little more relaxing. I don't have to worry about barges sinking and boats going down and crashing into stuff. So this is a nice change for a career.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to ask you, how did you go from that to this, being having a farm where you've got people coming and going and all that kind of stuff. By the way, the previous owner, when he had a Christmas tree farm, was he aware of the fact that in order to sell Christmas trees, people have to come onto the property? Does he not know that?
Yeah, I think that he took a little different path for that. But yeah, so now we've got our own forest. So we jokingly call it the little forest in the valley here. But the beauty of it is all these ornamental trees are so large that we have something that you typically wouldn't see. I wouldn't expect most people are going to allow them to get this big. So it adds a nice feel to the property. So that's what we're kind of excited about, is we've got cherry trees and everything else around here, and arborvitaes that are 25 feet tall. So we still sell trees, but there's big trees, and we're bigger trees. So we've got a crane out here, some tree spades. So if anybody wants a large tree for their property, and they can certainly come out and pick one out, and we'll load her up for them. So we're still an active tree farm out here as well.
Load them up into what? Then they'd have to have a semi, wouldn't they?
Yep, bring a big trailer. But yeah, we'll hook you up. Nothing that can't be dug up and placed on a trailer.
That's cool. And by the way, this is all pretty much outside, although you are going to have a beer garden, and eventually you're going to have a built-in facility that you're going to be able to do stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah, we put up a large tent. It's 5,200 square foot tent that after we get finished with our call today, we're going to finish putting the plastic on it. That way people can get out of the weather. But we'll be able to host different things in there, and we'll have plants and stuff. So we'll set up like a farmer's market, and we're working with some of the other farmers near us to sell flowers and a lot of vegetables and fruits and stuff like that to do farm to table to help promote all the other local growers around here. And eventually it'd be nice to have almost like a weekend farmers market out here. They do it in town on Thursdays, but it's rather than going into the streets of the city, it'd be nice to get people out here on the property, and the kids can play on the grass and walk through the trees and just enjoy nature out here.
So what is it about you and this that caused you to do this? I mean, this is quite a project. Did you have people say to you, "Oh, Dave, it's a wonderful idea, but come on, it's good that's going to be a lot of work"?
Yeah, there's a lot of naysayers for sure, and honestly, I lay in bed at night wondering what the heck I've done here, because I work 7 days a week, but I enjoy it. So I'm happy that I made the career choice, and it's a much more laid back, less worrisome lifestyle. Realistically, when you're working on the water and dealing with weather conditions and stuff, it's a little taxing, and I just really enjoy being outdoors. I've always been an outdoorsman and a hunter and stuff, so this is more up my alley, I guess you would say.
Oh, good. And what kind of dog is that?
That there is a German Shepherd. I can't remember what the actual breed of it is, but it's the dogs you'll see that'll walk across a tightrope, and the military uses them now. But they're an offshoot of the German Shepherd. It's my son's friend's girlfriend's dog. They're out here helping with the farms this weekend, so it's somebody just pulled in the driveway and the dog saw him, went out to say hello. But I can't remember what the name of the breed is.
Oh, well, that's all right. We love dogs on this show, so anytime we get a chance to find out that you've got a dog and stuff, and of course you've got what 60-something acres out there.
No, it's about a little over 23 acres out here that we'd like to buy this other little chunk eventually if it ever comes up for sale. So we have a nice square. We kind of got an L-shaped piece of property, but it's plenty big enough to keep us busy. Let me tell you, people underestimate how fast trees grow. It's a never-ending battle of trying to trim everything up and keep it under control. But if we had any more, I'd be a little more concerned.
Well, I think you're doing a really good job, and I got to ask Lindsay, how did you fall into this little group?
Well, funny story. So I guess I have sales and marketing. I'm actually a wedding planner and an event planner kind of by trade, and just happened to, I've driven by here for years and just so happened to get in touch with them and say, here's my skills. Can I be of service? And they were like, yes, come on out. So I feel like I got kind of lucky there.
Now, are you still doing event planning and wedding planning?
I am, yep. So I had 20 weddings this year, 12 last year, and hoping to keep right with that, but bring weddings and events to our farm. I'm helping them plan out all the different, I call them parties. Each event we do is just one big party. So that's what I love, and that's kind of what I bring here. So.
Well, good for you. If somebody wants to find out how to hire you as a wedding planner, how do they get that done?
Oh, thank you. So I am on Facebook, and then I also have a website. It's Always and Forever Weddings and Events.
Say that again a little slower.
Always and Forever.
Always and Forever.
Yep.
Cool. Well, congratulations. I'm glad that you fell into that, because I got a feeling that over the next several years, you're going to have lots of work there.
I already have lots of work here. We all have lots of work on the farm. People don't realize what it takes to, just maintain, but also get everything up and lifted up off the ground and everything running too. So it's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of team effort to make it happen, but we're rolling right along.
Cool. Well, and you're doing their social media and all of that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, social media, marketing, basically business management, so that way the guys can really, put their focus out on the land, and I can kind of do some of the background stuff. I do a little painting and things like that, but nothing too exciting actually on the farm.
But that means you get to be inside more so, doesn't it?
I'm inside a little more than everybody else, but for me, I like to get out there even on the rainy days and, be amongst the people. It's just fun to see people out here and, families enjoying themselves, and it's fun to, hear the screams from, coming from the haunt at night, and, excited to have my daughter, she's 18, come through the haunt and, give her a little extra scare too when she comes by.
So when does the haunted forest open?
We're going to officially open daytime and nighttime 1 week from today, actually. So next Friday we launch.
And you think you'll be ready?
We're definitely going to be ready. We're excited. We've been working hard out here to make sure everything is good and perfect, and we just want to put on a good show for people. and, have them come out and say that was the best haunt in all of Washington.
Well, I don't know, and I haven't studied haunted houses or haunted forests. Are you the only haunted forest that's out there?
Forest, yes. I know that there's a couple of other haunted mazes. A lot of the farms around here tend to do, corn and that sort of thing. We kind of value being a little bit different. And so ours, of course, goes through the trees. It's not quite so wet. It's not quite so muddy. So we're a little different. Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, I'm glad you're doing that, and you're doing it a little bit differently. And I also understand and Dave, this is for you. You got a liquor license too.
We do. So that is something that's kind of nice. So we'll be able to, like I said, we'll have a beer garden set up out here for all the events that we've done. And previously, we've done some things out here when we've had events that were in our large field off to the west that the Washington State Liquor Control Board required us to get in touch and work with some nonprofits to be able to get a liquor license to host events out there, just because it was a fair enough distance from the building that's on site. So we have teamed up with a nonprofit. It's called Think Twice, which is alcohol awareness and single-use breathalyzer company that's out to promote people and make them aware of, their alcohol content and be a safe drinker, if you will, not be doing anything crazy, getting out on the road when you're under the influence. And so that's been a great meeting with the gentlemen that run and operate that. So one of the things with the LCB, with this new tent that we're putting up, we're in the process of getting that set up so that it's basically attached to the building in a sense from a liquor standpoint. So we'll be able to host things out there on a regular basis and not have to necessarily go through other channels. But yeah, the whole idea is we really want to promote local music and stuff. So there's a building out here that's a pole barn that we're going to trim out, and it's got a patio that looks out to the west with fire pits, and we put in a nice lawn area for yard games and people to sit and chat or have coffee or do whatever else. But we really want to promote local artists for both music and comedy and open mic and just anything and everything, get people out here. One of the things that everyone's kind of saying that there isn't around much more anymore is places to go dancing. And I'm not exactly light on my feet, but I wouldn't mind taking some dance classes out here too and learn the two-step and stuff like that. So we've met with some people that are excited to come out here and give free dance classes and stuff, and just get kids out here doing stuff that, for whatever reason, isn't really around anymore.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I want to talk about the nonprofit because I think their idea is really, really cool. And what it is that they've got a breathalyzer test that you can take if you're in a facility, and look for these because it would be really helpful for you, because getting a DUI is very expensive, and hitting somebody and hurting somebody or hurting yourself while driving while intoxicated is really not a very good idea, and it's a very bad idea, in fact. And so they've got these breathalyzer tests, and they put them like in the door of the restrooms and stuff like that, right?
They promote it on the backs of, as crazy as it is, and I would have never thought of this from a marketing standpoint, but it's genius. You got a 50-50 shot at every time someone walks through that door of looking at one side or the other. So they put them on the back of the restroom doors in both men's rooms and women's rooms, and also around other bars and restaurants and stuff. But it promotes it. But then the places that they have these, you can go up to the bar or the maitre d' stand or whatever, and you can purchase these breathalyzers. They're a single-use breathalyzer, and they're just as accurate or more accurate than what the police use. So when you use it, you know exactly where you're at. And when they've come out here and set up their tent to promote this, they have an actual breathalyzer, and they typically will give a $100 gift certificate to someone during the event, where you go up there and you say, okay, I think I'm a .05, and if you hit it right on the dot, they'll give one of the people here this gift card. So their whole deal is to really promote that to the community, and then they work with the military and colleges and everything else. So they're expanding basically across the country and potentially the world. But no, it's a great idea. And I know that they're launching some other things too that are modern technology that I'm not really certain of, so I don't want to speak too much of it, but it's just to really let people know where they're at from an alcohol standpoint, because everybody knows, oh, it's .08, but what is .08? You know, most people just know the number, but they don't know how they're affected by alcohol. So yeah, it's a real deal they're doing.
Yeah, well, it depends on if you're a man, if you're a woman, how heavy you are, how much you've had, the space of time that you've had to drink it. As an example, a regular beer is like having a ounce of alcohol or an 8-ounce glass of wine. I only know that because I do the show. Not personally, I wouldn't know. Anyway, and so it's important. But I really like the concept of. And if you are a woman and have never been into a men's room, there's one particular spot that every man has to look at one point in time during the evening, and that's right in front of the urinal. And that's a good place for you to put advertising right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So because you can't look, you don't want to go, you don't want to look to your left, and you don't want to look to your right, so you look straight ahead.
That's right. Yeah, but no, it's a great concept, and they're doing quite well. I know that the guys were down in Tennessee just recently promoting it, and you know, it's taken off. So it's a good deal, you know, especially because, like you say, it's so expensive to get a DUI, but who wants to go out there and have one too many and hurt anybody? You know, it's public safety is the big thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And Lindsay, say that again, please.
Oh, I said drink responsibly. You know, go out, have a good time, but make sure you're safe. Keep others safe.
And it's always good to appoint a designated driver that is going to have Coke all evening or iced tea or something, and they're going to help you make sure you get home safe.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Absolutely. So now you are 20 minutes away from Kirkland, and you're in the valley right there, so you're accessible and it's real easy to get to you. Is that right?
Oh yeah, and you can just they're coming down 405. Yes, but if you just head to the west of the farm, you just shoot up. It's called Seattle Hill Road, and it puts you right on 132nd. That takes you directly to I-5. And so it's from the farm to I-5 is probably, depending on how you do hitting the lights, maybe 10 minutes at most, and you're right on the I-5 corridor. So, yeah, we're really centrally located for people to come from Marysville, Everett, the east side, Monroe. So, yeah, it's almost like a freeway interchange right here. No matter how you go, you can get here quickly and simply with very little turns.
And this go ahead.
Oh, I said we feel real fortunate to be in the location that we are, just from an access standpoint.
Well, it was pretty smart of you to plan that location and have the vision. Did you ever consider yourself a visionary? I'll tell you what, before you answer that question, I need to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to ask Dave about his visionary status of creating something that did not exist before, which is something called Franklin Farms. And we will return right after these messages. Please stay with us. You're listening to Positive Talk Radio right here on KKNW 1150.
Thank you to our dedicated fans. We are updating our live on-air schedule to make it super easy for you to hang out with us 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, and live on Fridays with Kixie 8:80 a.m. Seattle Live. You can find our library to binge all the podcast platforms. We can't wait to see you at 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, starting September 4th, Labor Day 2023.
Hello, everybody. If I could have your attention, please. I have an important announcement to make just for you. As you may know, PTR is heard and seen on radio, KKNW, and now Kixie, several websites, podcasts, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and most social media. At PTR, we believe in working together to make the world a better place, and because you're listening, we know that you're dedicated to the same. So we'd like to support your efforts by offering an outstanding multimedia package for you at a deeply discounted rate. As our partner, you'll receive commercial creation, both video and audio, at least 10 commercial plays per week, a monthly show to highlight your business and passion, exclusive website positioning with links, video shorts for social media, commercial plays on all shows, podcasts, KKNW, and Kixie. Your commercial is embedded into each episode and as a podcast is sent to over 50 different platforms. All shows are performed live and sent to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter and stay there forever. Your podcast episodes are provided to you to use as you see fit. This one-time offer is only $250 a week based on a 13-week commitment, and as our partner, we are vested in your success and will do everything in our power to make it happen. However, there are limited spots available, so don't hesitate. Please email me at kevin@kmmedia.pro, and let's get the ball rolling.
When you want to say more than words communicate, you can with flowers. Your custom boutique floral studio in Bothell, Washington is anaturaldesign.com, connecting you to nature through the language of flowers. Where your people are is where our flowers are beautiful. Your success is our goal. anaturaldesign.com at your fingertips today.
Hey there, I would personally like to thank you for making Positive Talk Radio part of your day. Whether you like podcasts or the radio show, we're glad to have you along. I'd love to hear from you with thoughts about the show and ways that we can make it even better. You are the reason we do these shows, because the more people we can touch, the better we can make the planet and our time here just magnificent. Please contact me, Kevin, at kmmedia.pro with any thoughts, comments, or suggestions, and thank you for being in my dream. And welcome back to Positive Talk Radio. My name is Kevin McDonald, and we've got a great couple of guests, including Dave Wells, who is by trade a tugboat captain, but he's also a wonderful visionary who's got a wonderful view or a idea of what he's going to take Franklin Farms out in Snohomish and make it wonderful and a great thing. How'd you become a visionary, young man?
We got tired of looking at this overgrown mess, so we fired up the excavator and chainsaws and started cleaning things up and whipping her into shape. But you know, we walked through here and picked out what we liked, what we didn't like, and formulated a game plan and kind of a vision of what we wanted to have out here and things that we wanted to do. So Blake and I, my son, who's my partner, sat down and spent a lot of time figuring out exactly the best way to traverse the property and make corridors for people to get from point A to point B. And we always like to say, just go back to that making lemonade out of lemons. So we've just taken what someone else let go and have turned it into this, and it's actually coming together quite nicely. So we're super excited with the result that we've come up with.
Well, very good. I'm real happy for you, and I think it's going to be a great addition to the community, which is why we have you here, is because we want to promote local businesses and what you're doing to bring the community together, because post-COVID, it's important. And the cool thing is you guys will be outside most of the time, and so you can go enjoy nature, and you're 10 minutes away or 20 minutes away from Kirkland or in Seattle, probably 30 minutes away, and you can get there pretty easily. And it's a great way for you to have friends and family and do stuff. You do stuff for the 4th of July. You do all that stuff. And Lindsay, I have to point out to you that one of our sponsors, A Natural Design, does amazing work with flowers. You should check them out.
Ooh, I sure will. Thank you. I love great vendors. That's for sure.
She is, and they are just amazing at what they do. And they do headdresses, and they can put together a wedding program for you, or all kinds of stuff. So A Natural Design, and I was required to say that they made me.
That's okay. I'll check them out for sure. Yeah, I'd love to look at them.
I appreciate that. So you must be, Lindsay, you must be a bit of a visionary yourself, to just wander in and say, "Hey, you got a job?" And then now look at you.
I am. I guess, from the time that I got the phone call, we sat down, chatted, and, we walked the property, and I feel like we were all pretty well on the same page between Blake, Dave, and I, and we were like, we could make this happen. Here's what we need to do to get this thing going and just, make everything better and just get folks out here to see how gorgeous it is out here. So we're going to paint that picture and bring it to reality for people.
Well, I think it's cool that you've got skydiving right next to you. You've got a driving range nearby, and the golf course, Snoqualmie Ridge, isn't that reasonably close by?
No, that's a totally different area.
Oh, okay. Well, that shows you what I know.
Yeah, there's Snohomish Golf Course, which is, I don't know, maybe a 10-minute drive from here too, but that's another great golf course. I played it since I was a kid because I grew up right in this area, just 5 miles down the road, realistically. So I've been in this valley my entire life. We used to, when I was a kid, I milked cows across the valley over here for my buddy's girlfriend's dad, and dairy farms are kind of a thing of the past out here, except for maybe one or two. But yeah, the valley's changed a lot since I was a kid.
I tell you what, I admire you for milking a cow, let alone driving a boat.
Yeah, yeah, done a little bit of everything. So,
well, you're jack of trades. Go ahead, Lindsay.
Some other local folks that we are looking at working with is Klahaya Days. So I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but it's a big festival here in Snohomish. And we're just looking to partner with them, basically with the city. We've got plenty of parking out here. My friends, Bill and Aaron Webster, they do a ton for the city of Snohomish. And we're looking at, they bought a shuttle bus. We've got plenty of parking, and then just getting everybody shuttled back and forth to bring, more people out for this festival, during July. And then also we've done the Klahaya Days, the teen dance for them. We had our first annual last year, and then we're hoping to bring that to the farm this year and, get the teens out here, but also have something for them to do that kind of keeps them out of trouble, gets them off their screens. And a really wonderful lady, she teaches country line dancing, and she DJs. And she got out there and, helped the kids. She taught them some dances, and so she was really a big part of that as well. So, and we're looking to team up with them, again next year and hopefully grow and do some more things with them as well.
I got a great idea for you. You ready?
Yeah.
One of the things that you do there is you're going to have a bit of a rock concert, and it's going to be a cover bands from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And here's the plan. This is what you do. You get the teens out there that are used to listening to, things like rap and that kind of stuff. And you put the 80s, 80s bands in front of them, and they'll get exposed to real music for a change. Okay.
Real music. I love it. Yes. I raise my kids knowing real music. They got to know it all. They can listen to anything they want, but in my car, they got to listen to what I like. Absolutely.
That's called the benevolent dictatorship.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Even my 7-year-old knows, 60s music, and he likes some classical. He likes everything, but some good rock. Rock is his favorite. The good classic stuff.
Yeah, they don't make music like they used to, doggone it. And
no,
my kids, one of them is a great big Beatles fan because I grew up
Yep.
with the Beatles, and so that was what was around the house.
Yep. My kids know the Beatles.
Well,
Blake
bless their
listened
soul.
to AC/DC. We always joke
Yeah.
about that. When he was a little baby sitting in his car seat, AC/DC had come on the radio, and I'd turn and look back at him in the rearview mirror. And I said, "Who is this?" And then this little kid voice, he's like, "AC/DC, the greatest rock and roll band of all times."
Well, tell Blake when you see him, if he's not listening to the show right now, I approve of him. That's AC/DC is a great band as well. So, and I love the fact that do you have a date pick for the for the retro bands, the cover bands?
We're still kind of working that out, but we're shooting for the end of June. So we're still in talks with them about all that. But yeah, it'd be some of the top cover bands, basically up and down the West Coast in Canada, coming out and putting on a show. So there'll be 5 bands a day that will perform, and I mean it's every genre of music, from Journey and Earth, Wind and Fire and the Beatles and everything else. So yeah, it should be one heck of a show. So it should bring anybody and everybody that's a music fan out here to enjoy themselves and have a little bit of everything. Like I said, get exposed to all these different genres of music and really be a fun time.
Have a good time.
And it's actual music, unlike some of
Yes.
some of
We know what they're saying.
Yes, indeed. By the way, if you want to find out more and you want to keep up with Franklin Farms and be able to look at their event schedule, and so that you can plan your summer, franklinfarmswa.com is where you go. That's Franklin Farms with an S, wa.com. So that's franklinfarmswashington.com, because there's another Franklin Farm somewhere in like Virginia or someplace. But so make sure you put the Y in there, and you can go and look at their schedule, look at their location, how to get there, all that kind of stuff. And if you want to have a job so that Dave can have a day off every now and again, they've got an employment page, so you can go and do that. Or if you want to be a vendor and that kind of thing, because I imagine that you're taking applications for food trucks and all that kind of stuff as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's our whole deal. We want to promote all the small businesses around and develop a great working relationship with, like you say, the food truck industry and everything else. So yep, want to provide a variety of different cuisines for people to get out here and enjoy. So no, I appreciate you shooting that information out there for us.
Oh, no problem. Well, the thing is that in rural Washington, which I would consider, even though you're very close to metropolitan areas, it's kind of a rural area, and we need to spread out the wealth and get money going to those areas as well, because there's a lot of really good people that are working very hard, like you, to make ends meet, and if we can get some entertainment going out into a really cool space, that would be a lot of fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yep,
completely agree.
So now, guys, we've only got a couple of minutes left in the show. So, Dave, I'm going to turn it over to you, being the orator that you are, as well as a visionary, as well as a tugboat captain, to tell our audience anything that you would like them to know.
Well, I would like them to all know that our goal is to provide a location for everybody to get out here, enjoy the valley, the activities that we put on, and hopefully appreciate the hard work that we've all done to build something that everyone can enjoy. And like I say, just get off the computer and get out here to nature and enjoy themselves. And then in the evenings, something that's really neat that you don't hear very often or very many places is if a siren goes by from a police car or a fire engine or anything, or just when the sun goes down, you get to listen to the coyotes out here. There's hundreds of coyotes out here that put on a performance every night that's just incredible. I mean, it's neat to know that all these dogs are out here roaming around and keeping all the little animals under control population-wise, but it's really neat just to get out here and see this stuff. We've got all birds of prey flying around out here, and in the fall, we've got all the snow geese that are on the property, and it's just the fact that we've got all these trees. We've got birds and owls and everything else out here that you just don't find a lot of other places. So that's one of the things we really want people to come out and enjoy. And it's close to town and offers an experience that you can't really get many places else.
And by the way, if you have never seen midget wrestling, and they call it midget wrestling, so it's okay for me to call it midget wrestling, or little people wrestling. If you've never seen that, it's a tremendous show they put on, and they do it well. It's kind of like going to the Harlem Globetrotters, and this is for wrestling. It's funny. They are tremendous athletes, and they do a great thing. And that's going to be on the summer. So again, go to franklinfarmswa.com, and you can find out all about the things that they do and throughout the year. But right now, it's the Fall Festival. So for the next 30 days, you can go out there to the pumpkin patch, or you can scare yourself silly if you want. And thank you guys for being here. Sadly, we've run out of time, and I've got to go. But I just want to make sure everybody remembers, be kind to one another, because each other's all we've got. We'll see you at 3 o'clock on Kixie.